Hot day, isn't it?
Oh, very hot. But then it always is in this part of the world.
Excuse me for saying so, but shouldn't you be wearing protective clothing? Those aircraft can be very dangerous.
Oh, it's too hot for all that rubbish. Look, I'll take my chances and you take yours, okay?
Sorry, Lionel, I must insist it's too important. Let's take a quick look at some of the protective clothing that is available to you. Firstly, you should be wearing coveralls. Then there's your boots, either DMS or AMR. Then you ought to have goggles. And what about a pair of ear defenders? At certain times, you'll need a protective helmet.
But I've already got a helmet.
Then have another one. Now, let's try out our foul weather clothing. Very smart. Then there's your flight deck surcoat, and a whole range of specialized kit for specific jobs. You might not be quite as comfortable as you were, but the chances are that you'll live a little longer.
But if I don't suffocate first.
One thing I didn't explain. Even wearing the correct clothing, you still have to be careful. The aircraft don't know that you're fully protected, so they're liable to run you over when they land.
Look, I know the regulations as well as you do. But are they all necessary? That's what I want to know.
Fair enough. Let's take a look at the different items one at a time. First, we have Lionel modeling a touching little number, imaginatively called Coverall Air Maintenance Ratings. This garment is flame-resistant, has adjustable waistband and cuffs, and all openings and pockets are sealed with Velcro strip, so there are no buttons to fall off. The Coverall Air Maintenance Ratings is a must for every well-dressed maintainer. And now, on to boots. As you can see, Lionel is wearing a protective boot on one foot and an ordinary shoe on the other. When we hit the protective boot with a large mallet, Lionel smiles quite happily because the toe is reinforced. But when the same mallet hits the ordinary shoe, Lionel is far from being the happy, carefree fellow that we know so well. There are two types of boot on issue to the Fleet Aeron. This one, the much-loved Boot DMS, is ideal for use on board ship, where its admirable non-slip sole offers excellent grip. Not to be worn on shore, however, as its tread pattern is liable to pick up small stones and mud. On land, boots AMR come into their own. The more open tread doesn't pick up stones, etc., but at the same time doesn't offer the same anti-slip qualities so necessary aboard ship. It's important, therefore, that the boots you wear suit the environment that you are in. On to goggles. And very nice they look, Lionel.
Thank you, sailor.
These ratings should also be wearing goggles. Doing this sort of job, you require maximum protection. What you are about to see really happened. Goggles would have spared the rating a lot of pain and saved us an engine. But you'd be surprised at the number of ratings who never wear goggles. Goggles must be one of the most underrated pieces of protective clothing that we have in use today. One thing I should add. Goggles don't protect your head. For that, you need a protective helmet like this one. But remember, it isn't good enough to protect your head at the expense of other safety measures. Eyes and ears have to be protected too. Talking about ears, as Lionel is demonstrating, ear defenders should be worn whenever you are around aircraft. But do remember, stay alert. Ear defenders dull words of command and shouted warnings. For example, Lionel, you are about to be trodden on by a pink elephant.
I beg your pardon?
I said...
Never mind, I got the message.
Then there are flight deck identification items. These are not so readily recognized as safety equipment. But when you think about it, the smooth running and safety of the flight deck relies on each and every man being identifiable even in the worst of conditions. So colored surcoats and helmets have a positive part to play. Whatever task you are carrying out in the Fleet Aeron, the appropriate protective clothing is available. It is the Navy's job to supply it. It's your duty to wear it.
I'll go along with that.
Good. I'm glad you've got the message. Incidentally, just what does that suit protect you from?
Pink elephants. What else?